brighten your day by watching the Time with Theresa television show. Whether in the studio or on location, Theresa Westbrook and guests will warm your heart and encourage your soul. And now, your host, Theresa Westbrook.
Hello and welcome to the program. Tonight, we are on location at the Global Media Summit to celebrate the screening of First Lady. Earlier today, I was very privileged and honored to do sit-down interviews with Nancy Stafford and Nina May, who is the writer and director of this film, Nancy Stafford, who starred in the film, and Benjamin Dane. It was such a delight and such an honor. So tune in for those interviews. And then tonight, we're celebrating on the red carpet, and we're getting some of the audience's reactions after seeing the film. And I myself got to see the film, and I want you to know I thoroughly enjoyed it. So come along with us as we journey and celebrate this great night. God bless.
A woman I once knew. She's quite the character. What hasn't been done, she will do. What has been done, she will do better.
What kind of president doesn't have a first lady? It's plain un-American.
She's an ex-first lady. That's all. She doesn't get a do-over just because her husband died.
Thank you, Mallory Carrington. You just saved our jobs.
It looks like you have a second chance. You should take it.
You look lost. May I help you?
Are you sure she's the right one? She didn't recognize your grandfather.
She is regal.
Kate! Kate! Madam!
Okay. I think it is safe to say that none of us saw that coming.
Well, it's my delight and my pleasure to introduce you to one of the actors of First Lady, who is also my good friend and a producer as well, Benjamin Dane. Welcome, Benjamin.
Well, I'm glad to be here. It's amazing to sit with you and talk about this movie.
Yes, well, I'm delighted to be here and celebrate with you. Now, First Lady is a romantic comedy, and I love romantic comedy, so I'm very excited.
There's a lot of people out there that do. You know, I don't think there's enough of them, actually, so I think we're going to hit the mark with this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you. So, tell us about the role you play in the movie, Ben.
I play President Taylor Brooks. And he's kind of a not ready for prime time vice president. So he's got some growing up he needs to do. But he is thrust into the role of president quickly.
Did you know about this? No, sir. I am just as surprised as anyone, including the Secret Service. Get them on the phone. I want to know how I was blindsided in the White House driveway without the benefit of a briefing on an issue I clearly oppose. I'm on it, Mr. President. Hello?
He matures actually through the film, and the First Lady, Nancy Stafford, she kind of wants to control. I mean, she's promised her husband, you know, that she's going to take care of everything. So she's kind of there, and there's a little controlling that I don't appreciate as Taylor.
I think you're playing with fire.
Well, I'd like to invite that fire to the dinner as well. And I know about Stone. She was his escort, nothing more.
The room's totally full as it is.
I'm sure you can find space. Bring in a card table or something.
Taylor.
Kate, if that room was large enough for Alice Roosevelt to roller skate in, then I'm sure you can find room for 2 more dinner guests.
You know how we men are. We don't like women telling us what to do,
You
right?
don't?
No, we don't. No, it's that ego thing that's kind of intrinsic.
You know, it's never stopped any of us.
It's true. That is true. That is true. You guys keep marching on with our marching orders. But no, I think, and it was really amazing because, you know, as an actor, you work, you study, you research, you do everything you're supposed to do. You do your homework, and we were on set, and there's that moment where I had to be sworn in as president, and I get emotional actually thinking about it now, because it was so, when I said those words, and it didn't matter the preparation, it didn't matter, nothing else mattered, but when I said those words, when I actually said them, and the cameras were rolling, it just, all this emotion flooded into me. I mean, I couldn't believe the impact it had on me. And I think what happened is it was that one of those moments in an actor's life where you don't plan for it, it just happens right then and there in the moment. And it was very powerful, but it really kind of, it gave me the gravitas of the position, you know, and I cannot even imagine what an actual president would go through and what, you know, just the heaviness on the shoulders of carrying the weight of the world. So that all kind of came there for that moment in time. You know, I was affected by it.
Oh, that's powerful, Ben. It really is. And so I appreciate you saying that. And I think really the world needs to hear that. It's not an easy job, and you can't please everyone.
No.
But we need to respect the office, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I mean, you know, it's, you know, you see different presidents and you see them actually age, you know, because of the weight of the world literally is on their shoulders. But, you know, it did. And this is a light film. I mean, it's really fun. I think the film is great because it pokes fun at politics and some of the things that we've seen lately in politics, you know, and it's really great. I think it's a breath of fresh air because it can get serious and it can get nasty. But this film handles it really well. I mean, it really does. And so I think both sides of the spectrum will really enjoy the film.
Oh, great. Well, that's wonderful. Well, what was it like playing with such a great cast of actors?
Oh, my gosh. You know, a lot of my scenes were with Nancy. She's incredible.
Nancy
talented
Stafford.
Nancy Stafford. You know, what a graceful, amazing woman. And I mean, I saw her really, and this is the weight of the movie was on her shoulders because she was in like almost every scene. And we worked a lot together, and she was always amazing. She was always incredible, always right there. So I know as an actor, I felt for her because it's difficult. You know, carrying an entire film, it's difficult. But I mean, Stacey Dash from Clueless, Burgess Jenkins from Remember the Titans, Corbin Burnson, Jen Gotzon Chandler, an incredible. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Just an incredible cast of actors that really lifts the production up. And I think, you know, Nina would probably say the same thing because it was her idea, it was her concept. But the actors really have to breathe life into these characters.
Right.
So it was amazing working with such an incredible team. And a lot of actors were from the Virginia area. So it was really great getting to know them as well. It's an ambitious project with, you know, a large cast. So it was really wonderful working with these veteran performers as well as some of the newbies that were coming up, you know. So, yeah, it was amazing.
Well, and Alveda King, she's in it as
King
well.
is in
What
it.
does she play in there?
So Alveda plays the wife of a senator, if I remember correctly. But she's great. She's got some fun moments. And I met Alveda at the Value Voters Summit. I met her there. And so it was great seeing her again, and working with her on set was amazing. But she's really fun, and I think she enjoyed it. She really enjoyed it. So there's this one moment that was this ad-lib moment that really worked very well at the state dinner. So yeah.
So she was okay with the behind-the-scenes politics parody or whatever?
She was. She was. I think she just enjoyed being a part of it, and I think it gave her, you know, she can be very serious, but, you know, and I think that's the side that people normally see of her. So she was just, you know, having a ball, and it was fun to see.
That is so great. Well, what was the environment like behind the scenes? Were there any pranks?
You know, we had a tight schedule, and it's amazing. What happened is that we had 2 days in Texas because there was this Oval Office set that someone had built on the back of their driveway. He just thought it would be a fun thing to have the Oval Office at the end of his driveway. So we were able to use that set. So we shot there and for 2 days, and then we went up to Virginia, the D.C. area, and we shot up there. But it was a fast schedule. There was a lot to do in that time frame, and it was fun. There wasn't a lot of pranks. I think people knew what they had to get done, and we had to get it done quickly.
Well, that's awesome. The Lord always provides when you're on assignment from the Lord, and I would say that was a great provision right there that He saw that you would need at that time.
Yes,
so that's the way I interpret it anyway.
Yes.
Well, Benjamin, speaking of that, how the Lord intervenes in different things that goes on in our life, you really have an interesting backstory how this invitation came to you about starring in this film. Can you share with our viewers about that?
Certainly. It was about a year ago. We're at the last year's Global Media Summit, and Nina May had come in, and I think she was in to enjoy the summit and do some of the tracks and so forth. And she had written First Lady a while back, and I think she could probably tell the story better than I could, but I think she had contacted Nancy at one point about playing First Lady, but somehow their emails got crossed. But she came out, and so Nancy Stafford was actually the keynote speaker last year, and so she came in, and they were able to collaborate, and then they approached me. I was emceeing at the time, and they knew that I was an actor, and I had spoken to Nancy a little bit, and we got to know each other at the summit, and so Nina came in, and it was just this incredible synergistic thing, because I think when like minds are together, and that's what I like about the Global Media Summit, is that it brings like-minded people together who really want and believe in media as a message tool and the technology of it to tell stories. And so this film came out of that. And then Corbin Burnson was attached, and Stacey Dash was attached, now Vida and Jen Godson, and so all these things started happening. It started rolling. September we started filming, and now what's great is that the film is almost complete, and we're going to have one of the first premieres at the Global Media Summit this year. Yeah. So it's really great to see, because you've seen the whole kind of concept to completion. Mm-hmm. So it really is a testament to what Global Media Summit does, mm-hmm. and what they're here to do, and that and the talent really of Nina to pull it all together so quickly.
Yes, I'm looking forward to interviewing Nina later on, too, so we're very excited about that. Well, Ben, what benefits do you feel that good, family-friendly, and Christian entertainment contributes to the viewers?
First Lady is such a fun film, and they call it a modern-day fairy tale, because things come together, and you see this woman, Nancy Stafford's character, Catherine Morales, who really she has so much integrity, and she believes in our country. She's very patriotic. She believes the integrity of the White House. And, what I like about it is you see her integrity, and of course she makes some mistakes along the way, but I think she's such a great role model for both men and women, today, because there's not much integrity. Mm-hmm. And I think people sell their soul for other things, and we lose so much. Right. We really lose so much today. And I think it's at such a great cost for the next generation. So what I love about First Lady is it has biblical values in it. It's not a Christian film, but it is a family-oriented film where the whole family can sit down and watch it and laugh together and cry together. It's just one of those type of films that is desperately needed today. There's no joy anymore, and everything's so dark and foreboding. And I think this is a film that everyone can celebrate together and enjoy it.
I agree. Well, now, I know you do other things as well. As I mentioned earlier, you are a producer. So I would like you to share a little bit about the film that you helped produce called Beyond the Farther Star.
Right. Being an actor, I think it's difficult because, as a faith actor, you really want to do great roles, but you're limited because, I mean, I've worked both in secular and Christian productions, but what happens is if you're a faith actor, you know, you're basically handed a script, you're told to stand there, move there, these are the words that you have, and you've got to bring that character to life. I mean, that's your job. You're employed to do that for the production that you are cast in. So one of the things that God has really opened doors for me, and really surprisingly, is I've been able to produce some films. But as a producer, what I enjoy so much about it is that you have the power to create something from a passion. So you're not limited as much. Now there's budgets, there's people you've got to still answer to, your investors and all that. But you have an opportunity to bring in different people, different personalities, different talents, and create a project that you believe in. You know, and that's what I like about being a producer. Beyond the Farthest Star was one of those projects. And I am so proud of that project because, you know, we attended every screening. We were in 30 different cities, and it's now on Amazon Prime and iTunes and everything else. But, you know, when we were there, we got to sit in the audience and see it and experience it with them. And then we would have signings after the screenings, and we got a chance to talk to people right after they saw the film. And people, all kinds of people that you wouldn't think would enjoy the film were crying, or they were just saying how much the film is so refreshing and how different it is and how it really hit them deep. And that is what a producer, you know, when you give your life on a project, and I'm sure Nina will tell you, any film is, I mean, it's work.
Yeah.
And it takes a chunk out of your life.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people don't really realize how much work it takes to produce a film, to get it all together, and it never ends. So Beyond the Farthest Star was one of those too, that it just took a while for it to all kind of formulate and come together and gel. And it's so great and so rewarding to see people ministered to, or their lives are changed by something that you had a small part in. You know, that's what I love.
Yeah, well, it was a nice film and really well done, and I enjoyed seeing that and celebrating with you there, too, so that's awesome. Well, now, Ben, I know you're a busy media professional, but you know what? You've got some other businesses, too. Do you want to just briefly share some of those other businesses that you're also managing to do?
I told my wife one time, I said, you know, life is too short. You know, because I want to do this, I want to do all these things, and, you know, it's just, there's never enough time to do it in a day. But I've for the past several years, I've operated a company called Robinson Creative. It's an ad studio, design studio, and we do a lot of branding, marketing. So we did a lot of the work on Beyond the Farthest Star, all the social media, all the print marketing, and the book deal, and the Kincaid painting deal. We negotiated all that, and so that was really fun. But what we do that I love is, it's kind of like filmmaking, is that we come up with a concept and we listen to the client. We talk to them, we find out what their dreams and desires are, and then we also look at the audience, like, who are you selling to? You know, who is that going to be? So we have an idea on how to reach and speak that language to them. And then we formulate colors and logos and print collaterals, signage. We develop their whole brand, whether it might be a video as well, and it might be the internet and a website and social media. So we craft all that together. So at the end, it has to be successful. A business has to be successful. So we see it at the very beginning, and then we see it at the end. And we still stay involved with the client. So that's Robinson Creative. And then from that, I have a company called Balloons on a Stick. So you can go to balloonsonastick.com. And we had so many people, businesses that were tying balloons to their expensive signs that we were doing.
Oh, okay.
We would do blades and monuments and these very expensive sign systems, and they would start tying balloons because they wanted people to see them, or they'd have a grand opening or whatever. And then so I created a stake that could go in the ground. I patented it. It could go into the ground and tie balloons. Yes, that was for the helium. But now everyone's into the air-filled balloons. So it's kind of funny that we would even have a business like that, but that's how it happened. So now we're selling a lot of the air-filled balloons where they don't need helium anymore. So that's one of my other businesses. But yeah, well, we do a lot of things at Robinson Creative through that.
Yeah, you've got a creative mind, and our viewers, I'm sure, would be interested to know that you've won numerous awards for your design work and illustration skills. So share some highlights about that.
You know, when I was a kid, I would doodle all the time and draw, and it got me in trouble in class a few times. I loved drawing the figure, and so I started I was a fashion illustrator for a while, and then that worked into more art directing and so forth. And so I've won a few illustration awards, and I've won a lot of design awards with our branding that we do at Robinson Creative. We just won 2 international awards and 4 other national awards for a campaign. We did a national campaign called Valaris, and that was really wonderful. But yeah, it's always great to see that other people appreciate the work, you know. So that's always a good thing. I think everyone can say, you know, if you know, as an artist, I think what happens is that it's your baby out there. Right. You know, you've breathed your life into it. You've put, you know, and sometimes it's very vulnerable because you've put all your work into it. And even something that's more of a commercial nature, you put your work and your effort into something like that, and to have the world say, yeah, that's okay, I like that. You know, it's always a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Benjamin, you've got many skills and talents, but what is your greatest passion?
Oh, Theresa. Oh my goodness. You should have sent me that question in advance.
Oh, it should come to mind.
You know, my greatest passion is really, I would say, is the Lord Jesus Christ. I mean, bar none. I mean, He has given me so much. And I think about, you know, it says to enter His courts of thanksgiving and praise. And, you know, every morning here lately, I've just been thanking Him so much for everything He's done in my life, because I think we get so tied up in the silly, trivial things. You know, why isn't this working out, or why didn't this happen the way I wanted it to come? You know, what is going on in my life? It's not the way I pictured it to be. But I think that when we start realizing what God has done, you know, what He really, literally has done, I start thanking Him for my family, for the love of my family. How many people don't have a love from their family? I have an incredible wife, 2 amazing children, you know, and that alone is great. But you start thinking about, you know, how He's blessed me, the talents, the abilities, you know, the provisions, you know, His protection, His safety, His healing, you know, all these things. And then you think, okay, wait a minute, He saved my soul. On top of all that, that's where He could have ended it. That's where He says, you know, I've saved your soul, you're good for eternity. But He doesn't stop there. You know, the Bible says that He came to give life, and life more abundant. Yes. He says that and David says in Psalms that I see the good things you've done in this life while I'm living on this earth. You know, there are good things that He does for us every day. And I think we just need to realize that. So my passion would be, I think, telling people, you know, honestly, you know, and I hope I do that through media. I hope that I do that in my personal life. You know, the Lord, sometimes when you're traveling, and I travel a lot when I'm on planes, and I always ask the Lord, you know, for a while He was showing me people, and I would like walk, and I would be in a lobby at the gate, and it's, for some reason, this person would like, I can't describe it. It's like I'm attracted to them. They light up. And then that person would sit next to me every single time. I was like, okay, Lord, you're telling me something here. What do you want me to do? So then I started asking, like, Lord, give me a word. Let me talk to them. You know, let me say something. And I think if we start asking that, because what happened is when I opened myself up and shut the laptop and shut everything, all the business crap out of the way, and I just really focused on him. And I said, Lord, you know, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to do? Let me be open to that. That's when he started opening doors, and I would say something that the Lord was showing me for this person, and it totally, their face transformed. You know, so you saw the Lord, when you're obedient, you see that. You see the Lord acting on that obedience. And so that's something I want to do more of, for sure.
Yes. Well, you know, he is the greatest director.
Yes,
has
he
the greatest
is.
script.
Yes, he does. But we got to get in line with that script. That's what I think we need to.
We got to read it, don't we?
We got to read the script, and we've got to access his power, because he says that he gives us power, doing us power and strength, and we just have to, you know, plug into that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, friend, I am so excited to celebrate tonight with all of you guys, the premiere of First Lady. Now, can you tell our viewers where can they go to find out more information about First Lady?
Well, they're on Facebook, and there's also a website, and I want to say it's firstladymovie.com. Is that right? Did I get it right? I'm doing it from memory, but I think that's right. But yeah, they can go there, and so right now the film is, they're putting all the finishing touches on the film, but it should be available. We'll see it today, but it's going to be available to the public soon, and they can find out all the information. There's also Facebook, and I try to post things on my Facebook as well at Benjamin Dane. I try to post as much as I can to let people know, because I've got a lot of people asking me about it as well.
Right.
So, but yeah, those are the two places they can go and probably get the latest information.
Okay. Well, look at the camera. Give them a personal Benjamin Dane brilliant smile invitation to come see First Lady, and tell them why they should come.
Okay, you guys, you've got to see First Lady. It's a fun, romantic romp. It's so much fun with politics and the White House as the backdrop. You're going to love it. It's the kind of romantic comedy that you want to see. So buckle your seatbelts and enjoy, because it's going to be great. You'll love it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, Ben. It's such a delight to interview you. I always enjoy it.
Thanks. Well, I enjoy it as well, Theresa. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
God bless you. And I wish you continued success and a good run with First Lady.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Stay tuned for more.
Enjoyed it. It was such a unique storyline that engaged me until the very end. It was just wonderful. I encourage everyone to see it.
Wow, what a great time we've had tonight celebrating the screening of First Lady. Be sure to be watching for it. Find it on your social media sites and look for it in a theater near you. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching the Time with Theresa television show. For guest and sponsorship opportunities, contact Theresa today.